toenails and blistered heels, salt stains streaking down my face. Sun is beating, muscles scream, but I'm moving at my pace. Run the riot! Leave the world behind! Run the riot! You free your body and your
All right, today on the Run the Riot podcast from South Louisiana, we got Ryan. What's going on, Ryan?
What's going on? Thank you for having me.
Oh, well, glad to have you. Like we just got to visit a couple of days ago, and so we've been trying to do this, but we kept having to like reschedule. But
Nice.
here we are. Well, we're gonna where we're gonna land is you just achieved a big goal that was a goal of yours for a very long time, and
Long.
you finally achieved it. But we're not even gonna talk about what the goal was yet. We're gonna start way back,
Okay.
and we're gonna talk about you're a Broussard, but you're not from South Louisiana. That's definitely a South Louisiana last name. Where are you from, Ryan?
I am originally born and raised in the Woodlands, Texas. So Texas, loud and proud, but married a Cajun boy. And Cajun boys don't often move. You move.
I have to get my wife to listen to that. For me to move from Cajun land,
Well, just don't do it.
I know, and I did it. So that says a lot. I'm gonna have to.
Yeah.
We're gonna make a snippet there for that. So you've been in Lafayette area, you're in Youngsville, and you've been involved in the running scene and all that. How long has it been that you've been in South Louisiana?
In Louisiana, I have been here now 20 years, so half my life. So now,
Okay.
My good Abbevillean husband.
Abbevillean.
Those who don't know, that is just a person from Abbeville, Louisiana.
Yes.
Very small town. But he thinks I should claim it. Like, now I've been here long enough. I need to claim Cajun status. But as any good Texan does, that you can't get that out of me. So
Well, so like you don't have that. You didn't pick up the accent though. I haven't heard. I mean,
God.
no.
No, all the Cajuns just turned off the podcast. They're like, what?
You're not talking like this or like that or none of that.
No, there are a few things that I say that people are like, "Oh, that was so Cajun." I'm like, "Really?" So we'll see. They might come out. I don't know. Now that I offended everyone.
Yeah. So now my mom's from Georgia, and so she was like, oh man, 19, 18 when she married my dad and moved down, and so but she'll say like, "Me, yeah," and like it's a weird
It's a country Cajun.
It's a country Cajun. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but she's a long time in South Louisiana, longer than 20 years.
Maybe
so,
it's cat. I don't know.
Maybe in 22 years.
Yeah.
But, so this thing that we do, this running, Ryan, when did you start it?
I have been running really since high school. I played tried to play any and every sport, but landed really in lacrosse, which has a lot of running in it. And but the goals of like distance running or anything like that really started probably my first year of college. It was just kind of in the back of my head, like, hey, I know I was a college athlete, so that kept me I just have a passion for sport. And so that kept me going and kept me alive, and the running scene kept me fit for that. And so it was just a really natural progression coming off of, after college. I was like, all right, what's next? And that was marathon distance, I thought, so.
Yeah. Nice. Look, I think you're the first, because I always ask like what people did. Like we've had wrestlers, we've had soccer, but I think you're the first lacrosse person.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we don't really have too much of it down here in Louisiana. And it was still kind of evolving in Texas, like South Texas area. It took 5 high schools to make up one girls team. So, that kind
Yeah.
of thing. But it's really evolved. We have a few teams here, even in Louisiana. So it's coming around.
Is that what they were playing when I left Louisiana and Lafayette, off of Pinhook? There was, some fields there, and there were I think there were people playing that, and I was like, "What's going on
Probably
over there?
so.
What is this thing with sticks and
Yeah.
whatever?" Yeah.
A
What
lot of
is that?
running, a lot of running. Uh,
Yeah.
a cross between like hockey and soccer. It's kind of a mix, but
Yeah.
really fun game.
Nice. Okay. All right. And so okay, so you kept running and, doing the thing, and how old were you when you got married?
I was 22.
Okay.
Young gal.
That's young nowadays. They used to be just normal, but
Well, it's young for me, but here in Louisiana, they were looking at my husband like your boy was old. So he's 26 though, and they were like, "Man, he's old." Like
he was just waiting for you. That's what it was.
he had to go all the way to Texas. You know.
How'd you guys meet? I didn't ask you that before.
We met at flight school in Spring, Texas, at a small airport. I was working there, and he came to get an added rating for his pilot's license, and then we're both pilots now. So
I
it's
didn't know that.
yeah.
I had no idea. We've been talking all this time, and I had no idea you were a pilot.
Mine's
Ah,
like for a hobby. He actually does a lot of it, even with his work. He's fortunate enough to be able to kind of combine it with that without being a commercial pilot. So
ah. So
yeah.
is it like Cessna, or is it jet, or what
I
kind of pilot's license?
He's rated way more than me,
Yeah.
like, yeah, but we're both fixed wing pilots, so, that just means, aircraft, not helicopter. Um,
Yeah.
and so me, small plane, like, I'm not rated to fly the big cool ones, but, he in his lifespan has been able to had the opportunity to fly several different aircraft, so pretty cool. He's a
That is
cool
awesome.
guy.
So it's funny you say that. Yesterday at our school, we have we have a guy that teaches. We have flight simulators and all that, and we have a class at our high school, which is very unique, where they learn to
That
fly.
is.
Yeah, and I'll send you pictures because there are screens up with like some people can learn how to do the tower because they're seeing them in their seats doing the flight things and
That
all
is
that.
cool,
Yeah, it's pretty
and
awesome.
there is not like, I've never heard of that, so
Well, here in Tulsa, it's a big, American Airlines is here, and there's a lot of aerospace jobs and
yeah,
stuff like that. So yeah, so if you come to Oklahoma, you can fly
yeah,
around. so, yeah. So no, that's pretty awesome. That's cool. All right, now wait, does Blake have the? Does he? I haven't heard him speak. I haven't got to talk to him. I've heard so much about him, but
Southern
he's got
accent.
the accent.
He does, he does.
Okay, the
It's
Broussard from Abbeville talks like yeah. That's good.
I remember when I did meet him, I was like, "Oh, what is that?" And I even a few of his family members, like, real deep Cajun,
Yeah,
are they speaking English? Like, I didn't know what they were saying. Like,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
it is. His is not quite progressed to
yeah,
that,
yeah.
but,
Well,
he's got that little Cajun twang.
he
It's
learned to
okay.
talk good for business. Well, we just rewatched, Waterboy for, I don't
Oh,
know.
it's not like that.
No.
Okay.
Well, I watched it, like, I love the show. I've watched it probably 20 times.
I love my husband so much. That's not what he sounds like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, for everybody listening, he probably
Oh,
got
God,
he has
yes.
an accent but he's a very successful businessman. He knows what he's
Really
doing, and he's
it's
yeah,
just he's great.
he's not Bobby Boucher. Alright. So
No.
well, so running. All right, let's get back
Yeah.
to running.
Woo.
Now that people know a little more about you and
Oh
stuff.
my gosh, I know.
So
I'm
so
gonna have to post a picture of my family, like,
yeah,
just
yeah.
so you can see. Yeah.
Normal family. Yeah, they wear coveralls
These
and white shirt
riddles, like, we're
boots to
yeah.
church. uh, yeah. So you started running like marathons and you yeah. So I mean, like you enjoyed. What did you like about like when you started running marathons? Like, what did you like about training for and the process of it? Like,
You
what did
know,
what?
I think growing up in sport, like, that is just something that was innate in me.
Yeah.
I love to, achieve, I love to strive, love to
Mm,
set a goal. I am not what I would think a gifted athlete. It doesn't come naturally to me. So I've had to work very hard,
Mm.
really in any sport to attain a level that was good enough, in standard wise of what coaches think, of what a program thinks. And I like that. I like
Mm.
even the sense of all things of proving something wrong, or like we're talking about pilot's license. I looked up, there wasn't very many female pilots, so I'm gonna do that. There wasn't many,
Nice.
people running marathons, I'm gonna do that. So,
Mm.
I have a very driven personality. I'm also highly competitive, which I was told my whole life was a detriment and was not good, but in you just gotta find the right strengths test, and there's one that says that that is my greatest, strength.
I
So,
like it. I
that
like
um, but it really has been what fuels me. Highly competitive in a team sense, but then also running gave me the sense of competitiveness within myself. So
Mm.
setting a time or setting a different goal, it was, yes, there were the times when it was racing, I mean, you're from here, you remember our community, and I'm sure it's like this everywhere, but striving to become that big fish in a little pond.
Yeah.
And there's a time in my life that I was that for our area. And so that progression again from sports, team wise playing into running really just progressed naturally for me for that. And then the added like not many people run a marathon, so go do that. Well, then it was not many people run past a marathon, so we're gonna do that. Then it was,
Yeah.
okay, and that still kinda drives me.
Yeah.
I like to think, "All right, what's the next
Mm.
thing that isn't very common?" But then you get in this space and you're, talking with you, different athletes, different people in the community. I'm like, "Okay, I'm around people that is the norm," and I like that,
Yeah.
It's like, if we could make that normal, how cool.
I know it's one of those things where when I talk to people at work and they're like, "You do what?" But then I talk to people all the time that are out running. I had somebody on a podcast that ran like multiple 200 milers in a year,
Yeah.
and she's just crushing it. And I'm just like, yeah,
Yeah, I'm like, I want that to be normal, you
yeah,
know?
yeah,
Aren't impressed by that or think that that's anything because we don't, we don't.
yeah.
It's just what we do.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, and so yeah, and there's always finding, and David Goggins comes up all the time because he's always talking about like ways to just push past our your perceived limitations and things like that. But I don't know, there's just something about like, okay, I did this, now what else is in there?
Right.
And
Is
you
there
and I
al
have had a
I'm
yeah,
a big believer there's always more.
yeah.
Um,
Well,
yeah,
and you're a woman of faith, and and like I've said a million times on the podcast, God's put up so much potential in us, and
right.
like we're throughout our lives, we're finding out what He's planted in there. Like yeah,
And we're capable. Like, he's
yeah,
created us to be capable of those things and have those desires to even do those things. So,
yeah.
um, yeah, I believe that.
I'm curious, like when it's all said and done, and we get to heaven, and and I know we got there's a whole lot of stuff, but one of the little things is like I wonder, like if we'll see the maybe I don't know the potential that we like if we what we could
Oh,
have done.
we don't even reach it. Like God, I mean, I believe that. Like God has a lot of plans and thoughts. Like it says that in the word. Like he
Mhm.
has thoughts, he thinks about us.
Yeah,
And I'm like, gosh, I bet you I'm not even skimming the surface of what he has for me or what he thinks of me. Or I just, like our little human brains can't compute. It
yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
do that.
yeah,
So, and we do. Goggins even said, we're placing these limitations and we should break through them and all these kind of things. We're our worst enemy when it comes to that. So,
yeah, yeah, and so we do those things, and they're hard things. And so in your journey already, you ran marathons, and you've even done ultra marathon. You've run Louisiana Summer Nights, and others where you've gone beyond marathon just to push yourself, and you've done well. Um, but at some point in the past, you had a setback. Like, you were doing all these things, you're driven, you're setting these goals, and you have the big goal that we're going to talk about in a little while. And you had a setback. So let's talk about that a little bit. What happened?
Well, and I think too, just even as you're saying that, I'm like, gosh, you think when you said setback, I think 10 different things ran through my mind.
Yeah.
But it's like, had I just looked at those and said, "Oh no, sister, you think that's a setback? Hold on, buckle up, buckle." So I'm like, "Oh, silly me," even in just they're not terrible things, but having babies, training through
Mm,
pregnancy, thinking for some reason that I'd hit big goals while I was pregnant, or things like that, silly, but fun. Just hitting those kind of injury setbacks, things like that. But the one that is, I guess, well, it's not recent anymore, but recent to the story would be my back surgery at 35 years old.
mm.
Um, and just the brief summary of what that was, running one morning as I always do. And as it would be, this elderly man trips and falls. And I'm like, thank you, Lord, that I would be right here so I can help. And what I should have done is say, thank you, Lord, for reminding me to use my legs and not my back to pick this man up. As I
Yeah.
should be thinking. I mean, been a trainer a really long time. I know these things, and
Mm,
just scooped him up, and not in the correct way, and blew some discs in my back. He was great and he's fine, and got him on his way, but that really that was the point in the moment of an injury that really took me out,
mm.
in all forms. And I don't know if you plan on getting into all that, but that's and that was right before COVID hit. It was in 2020, May of 2020. And
Wow.
yeah, right when I could have been doing all that running.
Yeah.
Like,
Right, we had all the time to
yeah,
run in
we
the
had
world.
all
Yeah.
this time, yeah.
Well, and so I knew you had it, but I didn't know that's how you did it. So, you were helping somebody else
You never
and
knew, and those sweet neighbors, they to this day, they still don't know. But it really coulda happened. It could have happened changing my sheets, the
yeah.
MRI ended up showing really from he looked at it and just said, "Hey, did you happen to play college sports? Like, you have a degenerative spine," and
Mm,
we'll
yeah.
get into the things of partnering with what, sometimes medicine and science and doctors say versus what the word says about me, but, um yeah, it
Yeah.
happened for anything, so I don't blame him.
Yeah, 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 I know, yeah. So so
Thankful to be
so
of service, but, you ruined my life there.
so it was that happened, and so did you notice it, like, right away, like, your back hurting, or what was
Yeah,
what were
I
the
went to
symptoms?
take off. I went to finish the run and, immediately dropped, to the ground, and, it was immediate how the discs were blown out. They were sitting on a nerve, so immediately my left leg, from hip to toes just was attached to my body and was not working.
Wow.
Um, and so, call my husband. I'm like, I pulled a muscle. What? Like, what is no? And so, laid on my living room floor for a lot of days. And
Yeah.
then it wasn't getting better and,
Mm,
not able to function. I know when I think back to it, we only allowed really a small amount of people, and there's a reason for that. A small amount of people that were able to see really the true suffering that was happening.
mm,
Because you want to be careful about what is spoken over you and to you and what you're partnering with. Our words play such a huge factor in our life and in our mind. And I'm an optimist by nature, so I was like, no. I think I just pulled a hamstring. I'm like, what? When I think back, I'm all like, what is happening? And but the pain level is something I've never experienced in my
mm.
life, and I have birthed children naturally, and this didn't even touch that.
Wow.
So, um, still believing, hey, it's a pulled muscle in my leg or something, for a good while, and then, that pain level really took over my mind, and I had
Mm,
made a comment to my husband that, I would, rather not be here. Um,
Wow.
than to be sitting in that. And
Mm,
so that was the day then that everything changed because he put me in the car and we went to the ortho ER. That was probably about a month later. Um,
mm,
yeah, and I mean, he'd come home. It was ugly. He'd come home and I was still laying in the bed crying and crying and crying, believing that it was just a muscle and not being able to really function. It was really sad. My heart has such a compassion for people who go through chronic back pain.
yeah.
Um, I mean, it was really tough. So go there from the immediate scan. They say, yeah, you're going to need some back surgery. I was like, oh, I'm 35. No, that's not
Yeah.
for me. Um, so we did that dance for about 3 months.
Hmm.
And yeah, so you can imagine no left leg, none, no feeling. So I was
And
in
you
PT to try to learn how to walk. Um, in that
wow.
way, I would fall, trip, drop foot the whole night. Like, I wish I had pictures. I didn't take pictures because I didn't want to remember um,
Mm.
that.
Dragging you literally dragging your
Yeah,
leg, your foot?
35 years old, mom of 4, super active. My identity is wrapped up in running. Didn't know this, but in
Yeah.
hindsight now, my identity is wrapped up in running, and I'm being told you're going to have to use a walker. You can't, eventually you won't be able to use the restroom. Like there's things happening, and I'm like, no, this isn't for me. Whatever. Well, you can believe God for a miracle, but your miracle can be through
Mm.
medicine or a doctor or things like that. I'm a radical gal, so I was wanting it to be radical.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Lord and I still have words about that. I'm like, listen, I'm your biggest champion for radical. I want things radical and right now and fun, but I would have missed the journey. I would have missed the
Mm.
training, so to speak. If the Lord is so sweet. He speaks to me in sport
Yeah.
terminology. And so I would have missed the training. And he had me in some serious training that I'm
Huh.
so grateful for. And would I do it all again? Probably not. But if it meant that I had to learn,
Yeah.
if that's how I had to learn all of this, what I know now,
Yeah.
shoots, I
Mm.
guess I would.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then I finally gave in to surgery. My Blake and my husband prayed about it a lot. And
Mhm.
so things move quickly when you're in Louisiana. Somebody always knows somebody, and we we were able to get into surgery very quickly, which I was very grateful for.
So
And
so what was the prognosis like? What was the diagnosis? Like how many discs or and
it
what were
was
you looking at?
too completely out. And
Wow. Okay.
so I had some options of like implants, but because of my age, I really did not. I decided against that.
Mm.
They would not fuse them because of my age, which I'm grateful they did not. Um, and so literally left pieces of a few of the ones up and below, and then the other two were just completely removed. Um,
Hmm.
so, my surgeon, very straightforward, and every meeting was just, okay, you're going to find a new hobby. Um, you won't be running again. And I remember telling him and Blake, he's so sweet. He just kept saying, oh, he's kind of like reading the room. And I'm like, oh, I don't see that. I'm like, no, you can't put that on me. Like, I'm going to believe for something different. So I'll do
Yeah.
the darn surgery, but like, I don't receive what you're saying to me. And he's like, she, okay. He's trying to
Yeah,
explain.
yeah. The medical doctor's like, this is
Yeah.
not my kind of language. Like,
He's
whatever.
okay. Don't receive it, but I'll see you on Thursday for surgery. And, yeah, that's a funny deal there. But, so yeah, it was just very straightforward, and then that, like, you will have to find something else, and I think it was in that appointment, it was before surgery, like, again, it's COVID times, so, it was really hard to get a Peloton bike during that time, but my husband, where there's a will, there's a way, and he was like, "My girl can't run? Come on, take up biking."
That's right.
And he's all like, "This girl has to run." So,
She has to. She got to burn the crazy.
yeah, I mean, he knows there ain't there's something wrong over here. And so if I'm happy, I'm running. If I'm sad, I'm running. If I have to process something, I'm running. Running got me through a huge piece of a grief testimony for me. And so there's so many he was like, oh no, we got to find something. So I was like, you're partnering with him, but no, he was being sweet. Um, and so have the surgery and go into the follow-ups. And he just kept saying, like, this, it's not, you're not going to run. Like, you can walk,
Mm,
find something else. He just always kept saying, find something else.
mm,
And so, I was like, no, I don't receive that. I finally did stop going to my follow-up appointments just from he did his job. It was fine.
yeah.
Um, at this point, I still did not have, he thought I would wake up with full restorative leg.
Yeah.
Because of how long I waited, I
Mm,
did not wake up with restorative anything.
yeah.
And so, go through the whole back brace. Walking, I was allowed to walk for 3 months. And, I was even pushing that. It was like, okay, they told me to the stop sign, and I'd look at my husband. I'm like, let's go just a little bit past the stop sign.
What about the next stop sign?
Yeah. I feel really good, and I'd come back and, like, almost faint, and he's like, "Stop, like, you cannot do this." But I was like, "No, no, no, it's just like in training, it's just like in training." But now looking back, like, those were times when I may have been stubborn, but I'm thankful for that will to
Mm,
not partner
mm,
with what I was seeing in the natural. What I was seeing in the natural is sitting in a room full of elderly people who had the same injury as me, and they're just trying to function,
mm,
that I was meant for more than just function.
yeah.
And so that was something I'm very thankful that I stayed. From the outside looking in, I think a lot of people judged, like, gosh, I don't know why she's not listening. Like, why wouldn't you just listen?
Mm,
But it was my stubbornness, but it was also my faith in belief
yeah.
that that wasn't what my prognosis was ever going to be.
Yeah.
Um, and so I went through PT after PT after PT. Everybody wanted the healing story, right? They all want to be a part of, this girl's a big runner and she's paralyzed on her left side and it's going to be me. And I appreciate that
Yeah.
because, you know, you're going to work with me and help me. But I don't believe that they ever really believed
Mm,
that that would come back and I would be able to function at the capacity I wanted to.
yeah.
Um, so I finally found there were two PTs in town that were just instrumental. Um,
Mm,
that just said, my job is not to get you to function. My job is to get you to better than where you ever were. And I was like,
mm.
you're my guy. Like, say that again. You're my
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
Like, you
Yeah.
get it. We're not
Yeah.
just, I think a lot of times we can just partner with something and then that's just it.
Yeah.
And I wasn't going to settle for anything less.
Mm,
And I'm thankful for that. It still took a really long time, but like I said before, there was an identity crisis that was
yeah.
happening, um, that the Lord so sweetly brought me through. And it's just like in racing, the end goal is great. The win at the race is great, but who you became in the training, wow, that is just it. So I look at that, I even remember telling Blake, I was like, this is just like a marathon. I just got to think about it as training. I'm training. I
Yeah.
didn't know the training would take 2 years
Yeah.
before, a friend invites me to do 100 miles in May challenge. And I was like, I mean, these people didn't even know I couldn't feel my leg. And
Yeah.
I'm like, 100 miles in 1 month. Wow. I used to do that easy peasy, no big deal. And I'm
Yeah.
like, this foot and training run after training run, stumbling, tripping, falling.
Mm,
It was like that was kind of, which that's another key part, is surrounding yourself with people who challenge you, who
yeah.
call you up. Don't think that it's weird that you would want to run a lot of mileage or
Yeah.
want to do a challenge or anything like that. It's like you need to be with people who are a little crazy with you. You know, I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's just there's so many things, but yeah, so then even still, it's funny, I don't like to say too much, it's like I don't want to recognize too much of what is happening in the natural,
Yeah.
even to this day, but
Yeah.
you know, a little lower than my calf, all the way to my toes on my left side. that's all that's left to regain. And I believe that I
Mm,
will regain that
yeah,
fully. Like
yeah.
I just believe with my whole heart. Now I didn't go textbook. I couldn't, of course. It's supposed to be lowest extremity coming up
First.
sword.
Yeah,
And there,
yeah,
yeah, and that was always it was cool to have that story that when I would go in, they'd be like, "This doesn't even follow. It doesn't make sense." Like you
yeah.
have your hip and your glutes, like you have all of this, but you don't have the rest. And then it was, okay, you have your quad, but you don't have the rest. Okay, you have slowly, and this is over
Yeah,
years' time. So I'm like,
yeah.
I'm not going to go Bible book. Have I ever? No.
Yeah,
But
yeah. It's
in my
gonna be what it is.
okay, it's going to be like this. It's going to be my own.
Yeah, that's right.
So
Well,
but it makes it sweeter. What I'm
yeah,
to do now. Um, I appreciate it more. Where I think I look back and think, gosh, I just took the ability, the
mm,
ability, and
yeah,
all self inward looking of like, I can do it. I'll just, any injury or any setback, it was, no, I can do it. Girl, gosh. I mean, had that girl achieved even now, it just wouldn't have been right. It wouldn't have felt right. It wouldn't have looked right. And she was faster. So I'm like, you know what? But it's way sweeter on this side.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
um, yeah, it's been wild.
Well, it's funny. So when we started, working together, you contacted me about coaching. Edie gave you my name and stuff. And we started talking, and you kind of told me, about your, I'm looking like you're running and stuff, and like okay, and you kind of telling me about your leg, and you refer to her as she, she
You gotta come along. Like I'm
she does
going.
some stuff sometimes.
That's right.
And but you were always, like as we started going through training processes and stuff and every, going through the things, you would deal with some little things here and there, but you'd always overcome it. You'd always push through. And so well, we'll just let everybody know your goal, the big goal was that you had for a long time was to qualify for Boston.
Yeah.
And how long has this been a goal?
Well, I mean, realistically, I know we've talked before. I'm like, I think I was just unrealistic. Like the 5 years I spent pregnant, I literally would think every attempt at a marathon, I was like, I'm gonna qualify. What? Girl.
And you were pregnant?
Yeah. I'm all like, no, you're not. But I just always I think it's a good thing to have your big goal,
Yeah.
but there is realistic, you
Yeah.
know, you have to be realistic. And I don't think I
Yeah.
was. But I will say, I mean, all 30 marathons, that was my 30th that I
Mm,
ran for this one that I qualified. And all 30, I had in my heart. I mean, I could think in my brain for my first one, I had it in my heart then. Did I think
yeah.
that I would make it that day? No, but it was in my heart and it was always, that's what I'm going to get to. So
Mm.
I would say over 30 marathons, which my first one, we were trying to figure out when my first one was. I mean, I feel like it was probably 20 years ago.
Yeah, yeah,
Based
you
off
you
of
you used that before, like, it's been a 20-year goal, that you've been wanting
I
to.
want to say I ran Houston in 2006, but
Okay, yeah,
so essentially, yeah. And that sounds, I don't know if that sounds good or bad, but it is just what it is.
yeah,
Because like I said, had it happened then, it would have been all about me.
mhm,
And it just isn't about me.
yeah,
It's like there's a healing testimony in there. There's a better wife, a better version of a mom, a better version of a person, a better version of a daughter of God
yeah,
who gets to have this? So
yeah,
I'm glad it happened now, but you can always say that in hindsight, right?
yeah, 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 but
I'm like,
when
that
you're going through it, you're like, "Oh, why."
she would have been something else, throwing that around like it was some badge of honor or something that gave her anything. And let me tell you, I still had to come home and cook dinner and, clean up after my children. Nothing changed. I just was a Boston qualifier,
There you go.
tell people that, like, it was cool, but guess what? It remained in the place that it should have remained in,
Mhm, yeah,
and that's really what that whole journey through healing from the back surgery, um, and running again, the Lord was just so sweet with me and just showed
yeah,
me, I had always known who I was in Christ, but that true revelation
Yeah.
didn't hit until then. And
Yeah.
that's kind of sad a little bit when you think about it, because I'm like, man, I've been a believer my whole life. And, you
Mm.
know, gone through many things where it would be so easy to look back. Like, I wish I could go back to the little girl who played lacrosse and grab her little face and say,
Mm.
like, this is just one of the hats you wear.
Yeah.
Like, this is not who you are. What you do is not who you are.
Mm.
And had I
Preach.
gotten that then, I'm like, 35-year-old girl had to learn that. I
Yeah.
still have to remind myself that at 41,
Ditto.
and it's
51. Still,
but,
yeah.
like, I know I just feel like it was that part is, gosh, that's the win. I made
Yeah.
it to Boston, but the win is it's in the right place.
Yeah.
It's not my identity. It's just something I do. I get to do it too.
It's so easy, and I've even done a midweek motivation on it. It's so easy to get caught up in this thing, because and it's because people identify. Oh, you that lady that's always running. You
Oh,
always run. You do the
yeah.
run group. You do the you're hosting the
That's it.
this run and this
You're
race and
yes, it's like all the things we do, but that can be in anything. Like,
hmm
I have that conversation with a lot of people. That could be in your career. That
yeah,
could be in who you are, even as a mom. But
yeah,
what we do is not who we are.
that's right.
Mm, mm,
Yeah.
It just is that. And I'm like, it's so simple, but sometimes it takes us a little longer.
Little
Um,
yeah, yeah, a
not-
little longer to get it
yeah,
and
a
go
little
through some
slower.
tough things. Yeah, to for and to kinda reset ourselves, and we need to do that every now and then. We need to check
Right.
ourselves, and, it's been fun, what we get on calls and stuff, and sometimes you're sitting right there, sometimes you're in the car bringing the kids to something or whatever, but, and like, we all do these like, we run, but we wear these hats. You're a
Yeah.
mom and you're a wife and you got all these things going on. And it's been fun watching you through the process, navigate all these and do all these things, but still figure out how to get it in, even when it's cold. Ryan loves the cold, everybody.
Y'all, I hate it with my whole heart. I don't use the word hate often, but I hate the cold. So,
And everybody that knows you heard that and they're like, yeah, she's
oh yeah, they're like, she struggles. But and that is the true win. Like, it is a deep desire of mine now living in this season to it's just a passion of mine to share with other women, like, yep, you can do it all. You can work a full-time job,
Mhm.
you can be a full-time mom and be very present. That's very important to me.
Yeah,
And so if that looks like waking up, and I mean, some people judge it, whatever, but if it looks like waking up at 3 a.m. to get the run done, it was going to happen.
yeah,
Because it was a priority, but my children and showing up for them was a higher priority.
yeah,
Showing up in my marriage was a much higher priority. Showing
yeah,
up for God was an even greater priority. So I was going to then fit it in. Whereas
yeah,
before, I would place it and it would be the thing that I was
mm,
doing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just
yeah,
wasn't. Now I'm like, all right, let me see in my calendar, I put my devotion time. That's number
mm,
one. Nothing messes with that. Then
yeah,
it's, time with my husband. We look at where we place that. We look at all of the kids' things, and then now where can I see to fit
mhm,
in the run? But it works out
yeah,
and you just get it done. And you
yeah.
can do that as like a middle-aged, sub decent athlete, like,
Yeah.
just you really can do that, and it doesn't have to look crazy. It
Right.
looks crazy to some, and that's okay, but they
Yeah,
they don't understand, but you really can do it and be present in all of those facets, and they not suffer, you
yeah,
know? Um, and so that's something that's, like, very important to me, that those things that are seen, it's like, yeah, you can do all of these things, and you can do them well, but
yeah.
hey,
It takes work.
never missed God time. My
Yeah,
husband, literally, I would do check-ins like, "Hey, do you feel neglected by this, by work, by that, whatever? Do you feel, like you're a separate
yeah,
priority that's lower on the totem pole?" No? Okay, then we're doing good. My kids,
yeah.
all right, what do y'all need? How do
Mm,
y'all need? Is there anything I'm doing that I could change? Whatever. So checking in with those
mm.
kept it grounded in the right place, even on those cold mornings. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's
I'm
good,
like,
that's good.
oh,
That's good.
I want to run at noon. I
So
knew it's cool. Like the
yeah.
Hottest cold it can be.
Yeah. Well, so, when we started this journey and started, getting you ready, figuring out, and so it wasn't a one and done on the race. It took a few tries, and there were different reasons because of that. And so I'd like to unpack that a little bit, and kind of talk through that because you could have just thrown up your hands. Now, I think when we started, like right when we started, it wasn't long after they increased the qualifying standard it was faster by 5 minutes, like
Yeah.
right there.
And it
Yeah.
was my birthday. So I was turning 40. So I was like, yeah, I get the 5 minutes. And 2 weeks later,
They
Boston
reeled it
said,
in.
"No, you don't." And I'm like,
Huh.
you know, um,
Yep.
yeah. So which still aggravates me, but it is what
Yeah.
it is.
It is what it is. Yeah.
She made me try a little harder and dig a little deeper. So that's
Yep.
good. But yeah, that was, I think, right around that time. So that was 2 years ago, coming up on
Yeah.
2 years, I think.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
First attempt.
And then we set the goal. We had the first attempt. So kind of explain what the attempt was and what happened there.
Was the first attempt when I got the flu?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
So
That was the flu. Yeah.
it was the flu.
Yep.
And I tested positive the day before. I pulled myself out of bed, went to the clinic just to make sure that I wasn't being a wuss. They gave me the magic pill though, and that's what saved me. Because I didn't want to tell Blake. I remember telling you, I'm not telling Blake. So just so you know, hold me accountable. I'm
Which is
lying.
good. I didn't talk to him because I don't want to have to lie to us.
It's still a lie. So I was like, I am lying to my husband, and I'm just like, I'm not feeling good, but I'm gonna push through. Well, luckily that pill, whatever that is, the magic one pill, worked wonders, and I was able to do it. It was probably not the wisest choice,
Yeah.
like looking back, but I did not want to waste everything that we had done.
You put
And
so
so
much, and you had put in such hard work. It was, yeah, yeah,
and like I said, I am not a naturally gifted athlete. I gotta work really hard. And so I was like, "Nope, I'm running it." Well, I
yeah,
think my fever broke in my jacket. I remember, like, sweating profusely through that jacket. Now, I did wear a really warm jacket. I don't know,
yeah,
cold,
yeah,
whatever. But yeah, so, missed it by a good amount. Like, it was like 7 minutes or something.
yeah, something like that. Yeah,
That one
yeah.
was that was a big amount. That was a big
With,
miss.
but it was with the flu, though.
With
I
the
mean,
flu, not bad. I mean,
yeah, yeah.
I did have friends qualifying for Boston with COVID, though. So I was
Oh,
like, "Hmm."
okay, all right. You got high achieving friends. You got,
Man, I was like, "Oh, I thought you were sick too. Oh, and you qualified?"
yeah,
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, you're so much better than me." Um, stay in your lane, stay in your lane. It wasn't my time.
That's right.
Yeah, it wasn't my time. And then, so really unpacking that, I was just like, "Man, everything really has to align." I try to
Yeah,
tell other athletes, like, you can do as much as you can do. You can only bring yourself so far.
yeah,
And then the rest really is about race day alignment,
yeah,
weather, health, sleep, all the things that you can't control
yeah.
to align to have a great
Yeah.
race,
When it's a big goal like that,
Yeah,
it has to, when you're pushing to your limit, just
give
got
me
to
a
do
big
your
day.
best. Yeah. Yeah.
So then we said, okay, Zydeco is right around the corner. Let's do that. Now that's the one that we really need to unpack, I feel like.
Yeah.
And
That one was,
I fully unpacked it. But that was a case of self-sabotage like no one has ever had. Um, it was a fun run, and I don't winning is fun to me,
yeah.
what
Yeah.
fun is. And I just had a fun
We, this was the weird, it was so as your
I
coach, like
feel good.
I, I looked at your metrics and everything. I was like, man, you are so fit, like so ready to go. Like we got this. I'm looking at, and I went back and looking. I'm like, I'm not just going to tell you that if, like I might be,
Yeah, like, well,
man,
this is for real.
yeah. And then I see the results and then like, we're like, what happened? And so what was I don't even remember what you told me about the race. Like, what was you just
I was
like,
like, it was just a good time. I was
I
having a
just had fun, decided to have fun on the run. And I was like, you did what?
I know. That is ridiculous. I'm just here to say it. Like, that's ridiculous. What is fun is meeting your goals, okay? But I really thought, we have an active enemy that wants
Yeah.
to just
Yeah.
take all of the joy out of anything that is
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And um yeah, it was a strange thing. I could feel it. I felt it that whole morning. I had decided and partnered with, I don't even think I told you this at the start line. I said out loud to myself, "You're not going to make it."
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, like I said that. Like
What
I'm
kinda
just
yeah.
I have my one AirPod in and I'm like getting ready and friends are around and I'm just like, "You're not going to make it." What? Why would
Yeah,
you
in
say
fact
that over yourself right before you do that?
yeah,
Like, if anything, you're, like,
exactly.
pumping yourself up like Rocky, like,
Yeah, let's do this.
you didn't train well and you're like, "You're gonna do this." Like, I was so extreme. Like I said before, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna make it, and I'm
Yeah.
pregnant. I'm 9 months pregnant." What? No. But over here, I was like, "I am so fit, I'm not gonna make it."
What in the world?
Like,
Yeah, just a, like, contradiction, like, compare
yeah.
yeah, like
And the whole time I would look at my pace and I'd be like, "Man, I'm on pace. It's not today." Like, I physically, mentally took myself out of that
yeah,
race. I should
that was
place.
a weird one. That was a weird one.
Yeah, it was. Um, yeah, the power of your negative self-talk, that is something
Mhm.
so real.
Yeah.
And I took myself out that day. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Like, that
Yeah.
still is something I'm like, "Oh, man, what does that even say?" Like, I'm so disappointed to even, like, face it, I think, of
Yeah.
as to why, because I'm like, "Wow, that is some serious weakness." Like, I
Yeah.
literally allowed myself to talk myself out of a goal that I've had at that time for 19 years.
Yeah.
That doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense.
Yeah.
What?
It was just it was so weird,
And I
and
ran so
it's just
well. I had a great run. It felt easy. That's when I should have known it was wrong because
yeah, it should have been hard.
you don't train. I was telling this to an athlete the other day. They were like, "When does it get easy?" And I was like, "It doesn't. It should never get easy. You train so you can endure the
Yeah.
hard. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
if
Yeah.
if it's not hard, you ain't doing it right. Like, you're
Yeah, you
not
ain't running
racing,
hard enough. You ain't
you're just
pushing enough. Yeah.
running." Yeah, and I was
Yeah.
on a freaking training run that day, you know? I'm
Yeah.
like, "What?" And
Look
I
at you
think,
smiling in those pictures. What's wrong with you?
you know? Yeah, that's a yeah, that's a mess, but I think there was a lot of fear. I'd have to guess, just, like, talking it out.
Yeah.
Fear is such a liar.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And there was such a fear that day in feeling ready and making it.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. I don't know if it was fear out of like, okay, then what's next? Because I am a big, I don't check something off my list. If I've said it, my husband even knows that. He has asked me several times in the last 20 years, hey, why don't we just hang up Boston? Like, what it go on charity ticket?
Yeah.
He's a let's all just have fun kind of guy. No
Yeah. Yeah.
competitive spirit in him. Sweet man. But he wants to just go run for fun, and I don't know what that's like except for Zydeco Day. I know it is
Except for that one time.
fun, and it wasn't even fun to me. Like, what it was a fun, great run, but I grieve it because I
Yeah.
wasted the opportunity. It was a train and run. I
Yeah.
mean, just the dumbest thing ever. So, yeah, I took myself out of that one. For why, we'll never know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll unpack it some more and let you know one day.
Yeah. 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 Well, and
'Cause I'm
then we
like, "What the heck happened?" I was like, I mean, my fear of disappointing you didn't even override that, which is weird, you know?
yeah. Yeah.
There is a healthy fear of accountability with having a coach
Yeah.
that you don't wanna let them down, you don't wanna tell them you failed or, when you do fail, it's magnified because it's not just self-failure, I always at the one when I had the flu, that one I felt really bad about, I was like, "Man, David has spent all this time with me."
Yeah. We had the flu, so yes.
Stennis, no, Stennis, I felt even worse. I was like, what is happening here?" That was another
Yeah.
I
Well, okay, so we Zydeco, that happened, that thing happened, and then we're like, man, so what are we gonna do? What's so we
so
found
then I
another one.
ran we ran Louisiana Summer Nights before even that in high
Yeah,
school,
so you did great.
and that went
You
out there
fast
for
you got
females. Yeah,
yeah, you won the female,
great.
crushed it.
I
Crushed it. That was
46
good.
miles out there, like, that's great. I'm only
Yeah.
I have only run one 50 miler, and then that was 46. So it was like, okay, that's a good
In the
deal.
Louisiana heat,
Endurance and speed.
humidity.
I am killing it, killing the
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
Flop at Zydeco. And then what did we say? Is that when
We
we started? What happens before that? I guess Louisiana Summer Nights happens before
yeah,
Stint. So that
yeah,
was
and
when I killed it. We've
yeah,
switched endurance.
yeah, and then we did
Yes, that was how that ran.
and we
Had a
did
great race
Stennis. Look up
coming off of
Stennis.
that. Gonna
Yeah,
kill Stennis, find Stennis because Florida filled up too fast.
yeah, yeah.
And I hate this because I loved the race director out there. He's a sweet man. But don't ever, no one, if you're listening, no one sign up for Stennis. Um,
It's a marathon,
and I
but
was
it's not a
warned.
lot of people.
I was warned. It is just a lonely race. It is very monotonous in the sense of I was on a highway for like 6 miles straight highway, open, really no trees. Like it was just, but that was that one. I knew something happened at 14, mile 14. My stomach flipped weird.
Yeah,
Had a great first half. The first half went great.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's
Numbers are great.
totally like what we had talked about.
Yep.
Um, 14, my stomach flipped and I was very unsure as to what was happening. What was I doing wrong? You go through the
Yeah, yeah,
go, let me assess this. What do I do? More electrolytes, less electrolytes,
yeah,
more gels, less gels. What's happening? Well, um, found out it was more just, I guess, digestion maybe of the gels. Side note, I then remembered I had taken 4 Advil before this race when I had not taken Advil in, like, years. Um,
yes,
that can hurt your stomach. Uh,
yes, it can.
I was trying to be, I was
Yeah, yeah,
thinking,
okay.
41, this is gonna hurt.
You've been talking.
Yeah, I'm gonna take care of this. And I knew that I would have to race hard at the end.
Yeah,
So, took that, but then, started throwing up at mile 19. And I mean, it was hot, a little hotter than
it was,
expected. I
yeah,
think
it
there
was
were a
warm.
lot
Yeah,
of, like we talked about the alignment, there were a lot of things that
yeah,
just weren't aligning that day.
yeah.
Um,
And your time
threw up,
wasn't terrible for puking like you were. Like you were puking a lot.
and listen, in that one AirPod, I'm like, call Blake Broussard. And so it would call Blake, and I'm like, I'm dying. And, he's like, wait, you're actively throwing up? I was like, yeah, but if I stop, I'm going to stop. And like,
Yeah,
that's like a no go. Not going to
yeah,
happen. I'll
yeah,
crawl
yeah,
before I stop.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
uh, yeah, that was tough. And so then, doing the dance at 19 of starting to throw up and knowing that that's slowing me down, looking at my watch constantly. Oh my God. Okay. I had banked some time calculating, and I am never good at calculating. If you run with me, I will never give you the right answer, but I will say an answer in confidence. Like,
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like, yeah, 2 minutes. No, you're way off. Or, 6 miles left. No, girl, you're way off.
yeah.
Like,
Just
my
don't listen to
calculating
Ryan. Just
doesn't
run.
count.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm pretty smart in math, but
yeah,
when my legs are running, brain doesn't work.
yeah,
So, doing all the calculations, knowing it was probably mile 20 or 21 that we knew I wasn't gonna make it.
yeah,
Um, Came in a few minutes shy.
yeah. It was close. I forgot what
It was
exactly.
close, and that was a hard loss. That one sat with me for a while.
Yeah,
Um, Man, that one was tough. I'm tearing up just thinking about it.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that was hard.
And once again, like you were there, like and as a coach, like I hurt for you because like I was like, man, you were killing, you were crushing. I know the work you were putting in. Like you were running those paces. You
These
were like,
pieces were so good. That was my best training block, was right before Stennis.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. It was so good. And then so that's we were like, golly, like what now? Like you could have just said, you know,
Will I
I'm
ever?
I'm done. I
So
quit.
stubborn and headstrong. No, I really, you know, in my greater testimony of my life, there's been so many situations where I have been forced to persevere, and that word means something sweet to me.
Yeah,
Uh, Perseverance and endurance is just something that is written over my entire story.
yeah,
And So I'm thankful. I'm so
Yeah.
thankful for that. And, you know, Blake laughs at me often. I'll just be like, no, when Ryan says she's going to do something, she's going to do it. It
Yeah.
just, you don't know when it's going to happen. So, I'm glad I stuck with it. And before I kind of felt silly, being 41, I felt like, oh, is it cheating the Boston system and like waiting until you're older so that your time is slower? But it's so sweet. The Lord has placed so many Boston qualifiers in my path
Yeah.
who have been like, you know what? No, like
Yeah.
it's all relative. And so you making it at 41 is just as hard as
Hmm.
somebody 23 making it.
Yeah.
I wish I would have made it at 23,
Yeah.
but um,
Yeah.
that would be cool and very fast. But yeah, so I'm thankful for the people who have
Yeah.
not given the jab because there has been a few people who gave the jab, like, oh, it took you 20 years. Oh,
Yeah.
wait, what? I'm sorry. When was the last time you qualified?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Be humble. Be humble.
Well, and so we decided, like, okay, what? So Louisiana's coming up. It's going to be cold. Ryan hates the cold,
I
but
saw it was so cold.
it
I
was,
don't know what the
but
temperature was because I didn't look on purpose.
you
So I
did.
don't know.
Yeah, it was pretty cold. Like, it was looking back. I remember looking at it, but we decided, all right, we're going to give it a go. I mean, what a great opportunity it happened, to go get it in Louisiana with
Yeah.
some of your people, and Ryan, you we kept ramping these things back up, like, and so that's what we've been talking recently about, all these blocks you went through. Now that we're unpacking it, like, oh my gosh, like, we kept ramping back up. We make sure you recovered and ramp back up for this, so that this has been boom, boom, boom.
It was
And so
2 years of ramp ups.
exactly, exactly. And so you got out there once again, you're ready. Like, I know you're ready. I'm looking at the numbers and, like, all right, let's go do it. We prayed through it,
My God.
and you went out there,
It was
and
my
Ryan, you crushed it. Like,
yeah.
you crushed it. You and I was watching. I was getting. So the funny thing is you're out there running, and I'm in church looking at getting the notifications, and when you did it, when you crossed the finish line, I wanted to hallelujah, but it just wasn't
Would
the
have been
right time.
appropriate.
um, so, man, all this journey, and you put all that work in, and then you go to Louisiana and you get to do it at Louisiana, surrounded by, some of your runner friends, and some of them even ran with you to make sure that,
Well,
to help
I have
put
to I have to give I have to honor that. I don't know. I'll send him the podcast link so he can hopefully listen to it. But that I've paced people before and I know we talked
yeah.
about it, but that meant so much to me. I have never
Mhm.
had a pacer. In fact, my
Yeah.
husband, um, he so sweetly canceled my pacer at one of our races and said, I'll just come meet you at the last six. Remember when I mentioned how he just runs for fun?
Yeah.
Winning, losing, doesn't
Yeah.
matter, right?
Yeah.
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 Because
Yeah. Yeah.
he was like, man, we don't want this guy to give up his family time. Like, it's a big deal. He's like, I've watched you pace people and you give up your family time. There's a sacrifice. And I'm like, yeah, it's my turn. It's my turn,
Yeah.
buddy. And so I was never supposed to run Louisiana, and so that's why Blake wasn't there. He had a work obligation, and
Mm.
so that was the only sad part. But what was so beautiful is a good friend of ours had literally told me after his 100-mile race, he had done his 100-miler, and the day after calls me and says, "Hey, I signed up for your race. We're going to get you to Boston." And I
I
was
love
like,
it. I
okay. I
love it.
I thought, "Oh, you're gonna run with me." Okay. And so, he was like, "Okay, set it again," like a month or so later, and then that's when it registered, and I was like, "Oh, okay, he's gonna pace me, and he's faster than me." He's a very gifted athlete, an animal. And so then when he shows up, then I'm like, "Okay, gosh, man, he might hurt me." Like, I might go out there. I remember telling you, I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, no." He is that like, he's that crazy.
Yeah.
Like, he will have me running 6-minute miles out there. I'll make Boston, but I'm gonna die.
You die. Yeah.
He was a true pacer in all of pacer form.
Mm.
He took it very seriously, um, told me my times, did the calculations for me, thank God. I think he was
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
math elite when he was younger or something because that man could actually calculate.
Yeah.
Um, and reminded me when to take my fuel, just really took it seriously. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I would have made it,
Mm,
without him being there. He was of such value.
yeah.
Brought his family out there. So my friend and her kids got to see, like, it meant the world to me. And I'm so grateful.
Mm,
Um, and I think that is a huge piece to, I know when we were talking about, just different things in training, it's like you need to surround yourself with people who believe in you. Like,
yeah. Yeah.
and surround yourself with people who are crazy like you. If I were to call him up today and say, "Hey, I'm going to run a 200 miler, that's my next goal," he wouldn't blink an eye. He'd be like, "Oh, I want to be a part of that. Like, I'll come crew
Yeah.
you." He would probably jump on and run it with me.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
you got to kind of match that level of
Yeah.
people who have big goals and have big ideas and believe in themselves and then believe in others. That was something special, and I'm grateful.
Yeah.
So
Well, it was I don't know, it was good to for you to finally, for you to get it and because you earned it. Like, I mean, you put the work in and you did it it's a hard thing. And I don't know. It just thank you for letting me be a part of it.
no,
And
heck, you did this.
no, I
You didn't tell the
you
machine, but you told the machine what to do.
okay, all right, all
Yeah.
right.
No,
Yeah.
I really, and that's why I think I speak a lot about this, obviously, because I do coach as well, but it's like you can only get yourself so far. And then you
Yeah.
need to bring others in. And that's when the
Mm,
value of having a coach, I
mm,
mean, you see that in any sport across the board.
yeah.
You can get yourself only so far, but when you have a coach that believes in you, you have a coach that's telling you what's right, what's wrong, don't do this, moving around. Like, I mean, so many facets of my life
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
of coaching me. Like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know the ins and the outs of everything that moves, and, no, I'm just so grateful. I'm just grateful for your place, in my life, and I don't think it's on accident that Edie would give me your name. We didn't know each other when you lived here, and
Yeah, that's
I
weird.
don't like,
Yeah,
how
that's
do we
weird.
not? You
Yeah,
were
I know,
supposed
that's so weird.
we would have met because you were supposed to crew a race, uh
Yes.
yeah, and all I knew was the name. I mean, that was
Yeah.
forever ago, I feel like,
That's the
but he
Rouge
moved
Orleans, right?
and
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Crazy.
wild. So I am so thankful, for your place in all of that and being, one of my greatest cheerleaders,
Well,
and giving
well,
me
it
tough love when I need it.
well,
This week, no.
it's well, it's been fun. It's been fun, and I love being a part of the journey. And
Got
I don't
more
know.
to do.
We got more to do. We do. We got more to do. Well, Ryan, we talked about the family things, and if I don't get off of this thing in a minute, my daughter's going to be late for practice, and I'm
Yeah,
going to be in
and I gotta cook some
trouble.
dinner.
Okay, okay. So,
There's
so
4 hungry birds around here somewhere looking for
all
dinner.
right. So we're gonna sign off, and I'm just gonna tell everybody do the hard things, and you just get it, just do it.